DeFi, blockchain, tokens, digital currencies, DAOs, Web3. These words did not exist a few years ago, and it's not things that we grew up with. Yet they are here, and they're bringing with them confusion, fear, excitement, but for a large portion of humanity, an amount of uncertainty about where the world's going and what role it will play. One thing I know for sure is that we will see more change the next 5 to 10 years than what we've seen over the last 100 years. So buckle up. The banking system, financial system is such a system that we will see change unrecognizably over the next decade. There will be amazing opportunities for those that are prepared, and those people will make a lot of money. And for those, sadly, who didn't think to prepare themselves, will not be able to maximize opportunities that always come with change. Enjoy this episode where I'm discussing what this new economy looks like and how I see the future of money. Welcome back, fabulous woman in your second stage. This month, we are talking about money, finances, and the empowerment we can achieve through every aspect, understanding and learning from and embracing the often uncomfortable topic of money as women. Discuss the odds of marriages ending in divorce and women outliving their spouses, with the odds of 100% that at some point in your life, you're going to be faced with financial decisions and wealth and legacy building. The sooner you become comfortable in talking about it, understanding money and finances, the easier this will be for you. Today we are stepping into, I don't know, maybe exciting for some, maybe not exciting for others, but the conversation about the future of money and the new economy that is happening right now, whether you're taking note of it or not. And some days I want to just keep my head in the sand and think, oh, I'm too old for all this new stuff. I think it's time all of us take cognizance of this new economy, understand what is coming, and find a way to benefit with these changes. History showed us anything. It is that most wealth is created when there's huge change and disruption. So instead of being scared of the disruptions, it's going to happen regardless. Start understanding the new so you can see the opportunities. Opportunities usually are those things that only people with a prepared eye will spot. And with a prepared eye, you will spot them all around you. My frustration I'm currently facing is that financial managers, portfolio managers, the very people that advises us to invest our money, does not understand this new decentralized financial system themselves. How can they advise us? They do not discuss crypto with their clients because they are not earning any money from advising you. They don't, how can they advise you, again, like I said, about systems that they don't understand, about opportunities in cryptocurrencies that they themselves don't even understand? It would be interesting to see what happens when banks and financial advisors figured out how they can charge fees or how they can make money through advising their clients. And I believe then you'll suddenly see everybody advising you how to go into the new, what's now parallel decentralized finance system. And that is how the DeFi system is going to become mainstream. Decentralized finance, cryptocurrency, tokens, DAOs, Web3, these terms are flying around. At some point, maybe we wondered, some of us thought they're going to start learning about it. And to a varying degree, we are all on our journey of trying to find out or trying to avoid decentralized financial systems. So today, I want to just demystify those terms and maybe give you a little bit of understanding and clarity, because clarity becomes empowerment when you have to decide in the next 5 years or even 10 years how you're going to use DeFi to make your money. And if you think the topic is so futuristic, maybe 5 years ago it was, but right now it's not. It's happening. Systems have been developed, technological and economical convergences are occurring right now, and the foundation for this new financial system is already available, and it's shaping our world really rapidly. Today's discussion is really fun, if you can make it fun. And my intention is really just to try and simplify the terms so that even a middle schooler can understand and get it. So just a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not telling you where to invest. I'm sharing concepts and definitions of a system that's already happening, and I'm sharing it because I believe every woman should be empowered to understand decentralized financial systems and take the opportunities that come with the new system to create wealth, create legacy. So to understand DeFi, let's look at centralized finance. I don't know, there's no short word for that. Let's look at your regular bank. It stores your money, and then it lets you borrow money. It lets you borrow your own money, basically, and it allows you to earn interest on your money that you gave them, and your bank controls everything. They decide when, how, and under what conditions you may access your money. And that is the typical centralized banking system, whereby the banks or the board of the banks controls the money, how they use the money, and you have no say in that. The banking structure is a deep hierarchical structure, and although banks have to adhere to strict regulations and laws, these laws and regulations does not prevent fraud, scams, and even banks can misspend money and go bankrupt, like we've seen in recent past. The centralized banking system is not a transparent system, and we often have no idea where our money is in their system. Decentralized banks, on the other hand, are without any central authority. Your money is your money, safe and transparent, and there's no hierarchy, there's no organizational structure making decisions, but instead, people around the world work together to verify transactions through computer programs, which is called smart contracts, to manage all financial transactions safely and transparently. The people who verify transactions are rewarded in tokens, which we will discuss a little bit later. So in practice, just imagine lending money to a friend or a business paying a supplier. Usually the transaction happens through a bank. You're either going to withdraw cash or you're going to do a wire transfer. These are often very expensive, and it can take days. And very often with cash withdrawals, you are limited that you can't withdraw the cash that you want to withdraw from a bank. In a decentralized financial system or DeFi system, the banks aren't needed. Your transaction is direct from one person to person or business to business using this technology, and it's almost instant, and it costs a fraction, a couple of pennies, to do the transaction. So decentralized finance allows us to send, borrow, invest, and without any traditional banks, where the community controls transactions instead of big institutions, and this gives more control and flexibility for us over our own finances. Not only do we have more control and flexibility, it means faster transactions, lower fees, and more openness about what's happening with your money. In these insecure financial times, and as we witness banks going into financial distress and into few severe cases, even into bankruptcy, we are beginning to understand that our money is not always safe in banks, and that the banks we trust with our whole lives can also go bankrupt and can lose our money. Risk individuals, a decentralized financial system, on the other hand, can be developed with the objective that we can take ownership of managing our own money. As with anything that is replacing an outdated system, like our current banking system, it is confusing, it's emotional, and it feels overwhelming to understand. And of course, banks are not happy with this. I mean, why would they? So they are bad-mouthing and they make it more complicated as well, so that we don't understand. This new financial system that is cheap, transparent, and fast is not in the typical centralized banking system's financial interest, and you will not be told good things about it, even though they are currently starting to adopt some of these technologies, but in their own centralized systems. I guess the big decision for each individual, if you want to have your investment in a centralized or decentralized structure, or perhaps a hybrid of both. And I think the hybrid of both in this point of time is a good thing, just for you to start playing around with it and get to understand how the system's working. These decisions and the decisions will become more prominent over the next few years, and you need to listen to the right advisors. Often advisors will only tell you about the opportunities where they can earn fees. So learn for yourself. Embark on a learning journey in your second stage. And it will only, even if you never go into a decentralized financial system, it will really just be good for you to know about it and understand, to take the fear that you might experience or the confusion. Now you understand a decentralized financial system versus a centralized financial system. But let's look at where the blockchain plays a role. And the blockchain is probably a word we all of us have heard, but some understand it better than others. So a blockchain is really a digital book, a digital ledger. Currently, many different blockchains are being developed, and it will become the secure ledger with transparency for this new banking system. In the world of blockchain, every transaction is captured. It's transparent. Nobody can change the blockchain without it being recorded. And therefore, in a world of theft, forgery, fraud, blockchain is going to become more and more responsible or play a bigger role to keep our identity safe and to keep an owner of assets safe. Struggling or grappling with grasping the concept of blockchains, think of it as a digital notebook shared with everyone in a classroom. Whenever someone writes something in the notebook, everyone sees it instantly, and no one can change, erase, or secretly make any changes, because each new page or block is securely linked to the previous one, so everybody can see who made the change and has the change been approved. Blockchain also have different layers, where, like a video game, where layer 1 is all the main information and transactions are being recorded and stored safely and stored permanently. Then a layer 2 sits on top of the layer 1 and helps to make things go faster and even more efficient, like an upgrade in the game, so to speak, that will make it quicker, easier, and giving it more functionality. These layers work together to creating a strong, transparent, and trustworthy way of managing information that everyone can rely on. The blockchain, this ledger, is the foundation for decentralized financial system. To really use the blockchain or the blocks in the chain is to have functionality. Here become tokens. So this brings me to tokens and cryptocurrencies, or crypto for short. These cryptos or cryptocurrencies are digital coins that makes the blockchain functional. Instead of using money to transact, we use cryptocurrencies or tokens. And these tokens are sent between two parties, and the transaction is recorded on the blockchain, so everybody knows that I sent the money and you received the money. Cryptocurrencies really are as money that we just can't touch it, but it's online, and we can buy these cryptocurrencies with different strategies. We can hold them, and as an asset on our books, we can trade with them. We can buy stuff with the cryptos, or we can hold the cryptos and cash out in fiat currencies of any country that you find yourself in. Cryptocurrencies therefore offers opportunities for trading, for making investments, for earning interest on your money. You can loan against your crypto in certain instances, and really great more and more for two-party payments. These transactions, the crypto transactions, happens on crypto exchanges. So now we have blockchain, which is the foundational layer. We have cryptos and currencies, which is the transactional layer. And then the party who switch crypto from one person or records these exchange of cryptos is called a crypto exchange. Bitcoin is probably the most famous example of a cryptocurrency. It's recently more a store of gold or a store of value where people buy it and hold it because over time it's just going to become so valuable. But there are hundreds of different cryptocurrencies with different functionalities. And it's really important to understand what these functionality of the coins are and not to follow the hype. If you want to go into crypto, it's really more spend the time understanding how this whole system works, but what the functionality for every crypto coin or every token is, or let me rather say every cryptocurrency is. And then decide if you want to back that specific functionality. What do you believe will happen to that functionality that coin is offering? Is it going to grow? Is the functionality going to be more? Is the need for the coins going to be more? And then you can decide if you want to buy it, hold it, buy it, trade it. Then you have the options, but when you understand why, very often we see people hear about, oh, here's a coin, XRP or XLM or whatever. You need to buy it. They have no understanding what the coin's functionality is. They buy it, the price drops or the price, and you have no understanding why there is changes in the markets or change in the pricing. But once you understand why you bought the coin, what the functionality of the coin is, you can then understand or develop intuition of how long you should hold it, how long you should, or should you sell it. And your AI ChatGPT is a great tool to support you. What I do is I put the crypto graphs in ChatGPT, and I'm asking ChatGPT to analyze it for me and tell me if I should buy, if I should sell. And so far, it's been pretty spot on. So that's just another technology that you can use for this new decentralized technology. Tokens, on the other hand, are slightly different than digital currencies. Tokens are used to create record to digitize assets on the blockchain. And it also give blockchain its functionality, but slightly different functionality. You can think of tokens as an art, like if you're going to an arcade, where you change your money for tokens or tickets, and you can then use those tickets or tokens within that arcade environment or in that arcade system. And then tokens will represent value or access to specific services or communities. A lot of digital memberships and communities and and ownership or belonging to those communities are being proved if you have a token, if you hold the token. We now see the biggest trend that I think you need to look out for is tokenization of world assets. Everything's been digitized, and now from digitization, we're going to go tokenization. Huge assets, every real estate. If you look at, let's use the Rockefeller building, for example, almost impossible for entities to buy it. But if you buy through tokenization, we can all own a part of a building we will never be able to hold. And our tokens will be our proof of ownership of that specific example, but it could be any asset that we want to prove that we own. And most importantly, our own assets, our own personal identity assets. We've seen the biggest problem is identity fraud, identity scams. People opening up bank accounts or even take over mortgages on people's names. And tokenization will completely secure you owning your own information, your own identity, and it will really help to solve the problem of identity theft. Watch this space. Over the next 5 to 10 years, I believe we will see more and more assets being tokenized, and by 2030, every real estate or every real world asset will be tokenized and recorded on the blockchain. Investments and assets such as real estate or even stock exchanges will be, it's already digitized. It will be tokenized and trade in a very, very different way due to the cost-effective ways that blockchains offers. But to summarize, you now understand the role of blockchain, crypto, and tokens that will be adding to the decentralized layer of the already digitized world. It will provide speed, it will provide security, transparency, and in some instances, better liquidity in the hope of removing the limitations of some of current centralized systems that we find ourselves in. I'm going to use what I mean with liquidity. Owning a real estate investment, you might have to take 5 years or 10 years if anything happens in the market before you can exit or sell that investment. If it's tokenized, all you really easy can do is do a set transaction, sell your token basically, and you can create liquidity. So decentralized finance using tokens will open up a whole world of investment opportunities that many people otherwise would not have had access to. I hope that I've opened your mind to it, that I've opened your curiosity to find out a little bit more and keep the conversation going. And I just want to also talk about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, which are also terms that I hear more and more everywhere. And I've never had a clear understanding what Web 3 was. And I think I'm so much in the investment world and in the digital or the tokenized world, don't really understand it, I think there's a lot of other people that also. So I'm just going to quickly give you an overview for what the Web 1, 2, and 3 evolution is, what they are, so you can understand the convergence of decentralized everything. So Web 1 is also called the static web. It's the read-only. It's reading newspapers, watching TV, and you can only see or read the information, but you can't interact with it. So websites had simple pages containing text and images with no commenting, liking, or sharing, and users are just passive consumers of it. That's Web 1. So that's where we started off with watching TV, reading books, looking at web pages. Web 2 is called the social web. It's the read and write. It's the web of the internet as we know today. It's interactive. It allows us as users to read, but also we can share, we can post, we can comment, and we can create our content based on other people's content. Websites and apps became social platforms driven by user-generated content, and big companies like Facebook, YouTube, Google are using us and our content to promote their businesses. And however, most of this data and control still stays centralized with the big business and the big tech companies. And you can see it. You can post on Instagram, you can post on Facebook, and they will decide if your post gets boosted or not, or you pay them to have your post boosted. It's creating a whole new economy. It creates the influencer economy, and we can interact with our favorite entertainers and stars and businesses. So it really changed the world as we knew it from the 70s and 80s. Web3, however, is the decentralized web. It's the read, write, and own web. It's the newest evolution, and you'll hear people talking about it. It is currently being explored on the internet, and it's called the decentralized web, like I mentioned. Instead of big companies owning all your data and content, you control and own it yourself. Through the technologies we just discussed, Web3 allows users to directly participate, earn, vote, and build communities without centralized control. And as Web2 created a massive amount of opportunities like we see now, and people monetizing their content, I believe Web3 will again be next level in people creating content and in opportunities to make money. The difference is it will be decentralized, and I will own my own content, and I will own my own voice, and I can do with that what I deem to be valuable to the world. So as you can see, decentralized finance, decentralized systems, decentralized communities are the future. It's happening, and it's something we really should be watching and see and witness how fast adoption is going to be. One of the last things I just want to talk about is a DAO, it's a decentralized autonomous organization. There was a lot of talk about it maybe 3 years ago, and suddenly there's less talk about it, which usually means it's in the deception phase and there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. But a decentralized autonomous organization would be a digital organization, a flat structure with no board of directors and no hierarchy or no centralized system making all the decisions. And it will be applied into communities, cities, countries, where voting will happen by the people in that country or in that organization or in that community. And the voting will be open and transparent. It will be recorded on a blockchain. It cannot be changed. It cannot be scammed. There cannot be fraud. And the world's decision-making will sit in a decentralized organizational structure. And why should this matter to us? Well, as the economy is evolving and being better informed will empower us. You know, this change would be similar to when email replaced the mail, the traditional postal mail, or smartphones replaced landlines. At first, it feels intimidating, but then as we embrace it more and more, it gives everyone an advantage. Understanding these ideas and concepts isn't just about knowledge, it's about embracing and optimizing change to empower yourself. As with everything, educating ourselves are the most important because through education, we develop power, we develop an instinct, and we know when something's a scam, or we know when something's real, and what we want to go after it. There's a lot of resources around this topic on decentralized finance, blockchains, cryptos. Your AI can tell you a lot about it as well and can teach you. There's great prompts you can put in, tell your AI to explain all these concepts to you as if you are a 5-year-old, and you'll be amazed how wonderfully it teaches you and educates you. More importantly, from an internal, personal perspective, you need to understand your belief systems will be challenged. So you need to become self-aware about the resistance, your emotions, and the stories you tell yourself. And understand your belief system is based on stuff that you've learned potentially 40, 50, 60 years ago. The world has changed. Have you upgraded your beliefs? Have you done an audit to see what beliefs, especially beliefs around money, is still serving you or is not serving you? Connect with communities where you can have these conversations, where you can ask questions and really explore this new economy together. Because this is how we're going to thrive, is take the fear out of what's coming, and it's coming at such a fast rate at us, through being in community, through being empowered, through having conversations. The ones quickest to respond and adapt to this change will not only find the change easier to navigate through compared to those who's resisting it, but it will also be able to spot the opportunities quicker and be able to jump on opportunities and capitalize on opportunities for your own benefit. The DeFi blockchain financial system is really in its infancy stage, but once fully developed, it offers real financial independence and a chance to build wealth differently and with excitement, and you can contribute directly to communities that matters to you. I will not be surprised that if our children, well, for sure, our children will be operating in this new financial system. So we might as well start learning about it as well. You can just imagine how you can benefit. You can imagine investing in businesses or projects that's close to your heart without a middleman. Imagine voting directly on changes within your communities that you are passionate about. And this new economy puts the power back in our hands. Imagine your own business infrastructure. If you have a business, how can your business benefit its customers and other stakeholders using these new technologies? I hope today's episode that I succeeded in giving you a better understanding to the conversation, that removes some of the resistance and friction and confusion, possibly, that you might feel that you want to take a step and lean in to what could be the beginning of a very exciting journey for your future. Remember, you're never too old, it's never too late, and you are just the right time to learn about new opportunities. Knowledge is your superpower, and now that you've got a grasp of the new economy, exploring it in small steps as you venture into this new financial frontier. Thank you so much for joining me on Her Second Stage today. Please share this episode with a friend that you think might enjoy the conversation. Please subscribe, share, and join us on social media or on hersecondstage.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay vibrant, and remember, the best is yet to come.